we may, the deeper purpose. The deeper purpose question, waking up one day and realizing that most of your life was spent waiting for the weekend, waiting for the right moment, waiting for some perfect future that never arrived. We tell ourselves there's always tomorrow. But what if there wasn't? What if today was all we had? Would we live differently? Would we make today count? The approach, the most successful, fulfilled people don't live for one day. They make today the day. They understand that every moment is an opportunity, not a rehearsal. They don't wait for motivation, they create it. And they don't seek success, they build it, one meaningful action at a time. What is the call to action? So how do we do it? How do we make every day count? It starts with a simple shift. Stop measuring life in years and start measuring it in moments. Find purpose in the small things. Take action before you feel ready. And most importantly, make sure that when you go to bed tonight, you can look back and say, today I lived. Every day begins with a simple question. Why? Why do we wake up? Why do we push ourselves to get out of bed and face the world? In a world that constantly demands our attention, our time, and our energy, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We often go through the motions of the day without ever questioning the deeper purpose behind our actions. Yet, the truth is that when we start with purpose, everything else falls into place. Purpose is the invisible force that drives us, that fuels our passion and determination. It's what makes us get up every day, even when the weight of the world feels too heavy. It's what helps us push through setbacks, face challenges head-on, and keep moving forward. Without a sense of purpose, the days blur together and we find ourselves living in autopilot mode. But when we connect to a deeper reason for what we do, we can shift our mindset and approach the day with intention. Starting each day with purpose is about more than just having a goal or a to-do list. It's about understanding why those things matter. Why do you want to succeed in your career? Why do you want to improve your health? Why do you want to build stronger relationships? When we connect to the why behind our actions, they become more than just tasks or obligations. They become meaningful steps towards something larger than ourselves. The reason we often struggle to stay focused on our purpose is because the world is full of distractions. We're constantly bombarded with notifications, news, and other people's demands. We're encouraged to chase after success, wealth, or status without ever asking ourselves if those are the things that truly matter to us. It's easy to get swept up in the current of external expectations, but when we pause and reflect on our own values and goals, we can anchor ourselves to something more authentic and fulfilling. Starting with purpose also means understanding that your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose or world-changing. It doesn't have to be something that everyone else will recognize or applaud. Your purpose can be as simple as wanting to make a positive impact on the people around you, to live with integrity, or to grow and evolve as a person. The key is that it is personal to you. It's the reason you do what you do, the fuel that keeps you going even on the hardest days. When you begin each day with a clear sense of purpose, you're more likely to stay focused on what truly matters. Instead of getting caught up in trivial distractions, you'll make decisions that align with your values and long-term goals. You'll be more intentional with your time, more present in your interactions, and more aware of the opportunities around you. You'll stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions to take action, because you'll realize that every moment is an opportunity to live out your purpose. It's easy to let external circumstances dictate your mood, your energy, and your actions. We've all had days where we wake up feeling tired, overwhelmed, or unmotivated. But when you start with purpose, you can shift your mindset. Instead of letting the world control how you feel, you take charge of your own internal narrative. You decide that no matter how the day unfolds, you will remain grounded in your purpose and move forward with intention. The beauty of starting with purpose is that it creates a ripple effect. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to do the same. Your passion and clarity become contagious. People around you notice the energy and focus you bring to everything you do, and they start to ask themselves what their own purpose is. Well, purpose has the power to elevate not only your own life, but the lives of everyone you encounter. When we start each day by reconnecting with our purpose, we make every moment count. We don't wait for the future to bring meaning into our lives. We create meaning now. We bring intention to everything we do, whether it's working on a project, spending time with family, or taking care of ourselves. The power of purpose is that it transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns routine into ritual, mundane into meaningful, and most importantly, it gives us a reason to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles we face. In the end, starting with purpose is not just about achieving something big or monumental. It's about waking up each day with a sense of direction, with a clear understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. It's about making the decision that today will be purposeful, that every action, every thought, and every choice will be driven by something that matters deeply to you. And when you start your day with that kind of clarity, the world becomes a much more vibrant and meaningful place. The way we start our day often determines how the rest of it will unfold. Imagine waking up feeling rushed, anxious, and unprepared. You immediately reach for your phone, check email, scroll through social media, and before you know it, the day has already begun and you're playing catch-up. It's easy to fall into this cycle, but the truth is that how we begin our morning has a profound impact on the rest of our day. If you want to make every day count, you need to win your morning. Winning the morning isn't about achieving perfection or following a strict set of rules. It's about taking control of the first moments of your day and setting the tone for everything that follows. The morning is when your mind is fresh, your energy is high, and your potential is limitless. How you use that time can make the difference between a productive, purposeful day and one that feels scattered and reactive. The good news is you don't need to have a perfectly structured morning routine to win it. What matters is that you start with intention. One of the most powerful ways to win your morning is to create a routine that aligns with your values and goals. This doesn't mean you need to wake up at 4 a.m. and meditate for an hour. It's about finding what works for you and committing to it. Maybe it's spending a few minutes in quiet reflection or gratitude. Maybe it's moving your body with some light exercise, or maybe it's taking the time to plan and prioritize your day. The goal is to do something that centers you, something that helps you start the day with a sense of purpose and control. Another key to winning the morning is setting the right mindset. Too often we wake up and immediately start thinking about everything that needs to be done. The mental checklist starts ticking off, emails to send, meetings to attend, deadlines to meet. This can leave you feeling overwhelmed before you even get out of bed. Instead of rushing into problem-solving mode, take a few moments to reset your mindset. Remind yourself that today is a new opportunity, a fresh start. Focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. It's this mindset shift that allows you to approach the day with confidence and clarity rather than anxiety and stress. Winning the morning is also about avoiding distractions and creating space for what matters most. One of the biggest distractions in modern life is technology. The temptation to check our phones first thing in the morning is almost universal. But when we give in to that temptation, we immediately start reacting to the world around us rather than proactively deciding how we want to engage with it. Checking your phone first thing can pull you into a cycle of distraction, leaving you feeling reactive instead of intentional. Instead of reaching for your phone, try starting your day with something that nourishes your mind or body, whether it's a book, a podcast, a cup of tea, or a moment of stillness. It's also important to give yourself time in the morning. How often do we wake up at the last minute, scramble to get ready, and rush out the door? When we're constantly rushing, it's hard to feel in control of our day. But when we give ourselves time, we can move through our morning with more ease and intention. It doesn't have to be an hour-long ritual. Even a few extra minutes can make a big difference. The key is to slow down and create space for yourself to ease into the day without feeling rushed or frantic. Another way to win your morning is by setting clear intentions. When you wake up, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? This simple question can help you focus on the things that matter most, rather than getting bogged down in the distractions of the day. Whether your intention is to be more productive, to focus on self-care, or to make meaningful connections with others, setting an intention gives you a clear direction and purpose for the day. It's not about rigid goals or unrealistic expectations. It's about setting an anchor that helps guide you through the day. Winning the morning is also about taking care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's easy to neglect self-care when we're busy, but taking care of yourself in the morning sets a positive tone for the day. This could mean getting a good night's sleep, eating a nourishing breakfast, or taking a few moments to breathe deeply and center yourself. When we make self-care a priority in the morning, we're better equipped to handle the challenges that come our way. We're more resilient, more focused, and more grounded in our purpose. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, winning the morning gives you a sense of control. It allows you to start the day with clarity and intention rather than being pulled in a million different directions. It's about taking the first moments of your day to align yourself with your values, your goals, and your purpose. When you win your morning, you set the stage for a day that is purposeful, productive, and fulfilling. You create a momentum that carries you through the day, and with each morning you win, you build a life that counts. Taking action is one of the most powerful ways to make every day count, yet it's also one of the most challenging. We often find ourselves waiting for the right moment or the perfect conditions to take that first step, but the reality is that the perfect moment rarely comes. Instead, we must take action before we feel ready. Waiting for motivation or the ideal circumstances can hold us back and lead to missed opportunities. By learning to take action in the face of uncertainty, we unlock the potential to make meaningful progress every day. One of the key reasons people struggle to take action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong choice, or fear of not being good enough can create a mental block that prevents us from moving forward. It's easy to become paralyzed by the uncertainty of what might happen if we take that first step. But the truth is, taking action is the antidote to fear. When we act, we break the hold that fear has over us. Action doesn't guarantee success, but it does guarantee progress. The more we take action, the more we learn, grow, and adapt, and the more confidence we build in ourselves and our abilities. Taking action before feeling ready also requires a shift in mindset. We often believe that we need to have all the answers, to know exactly how things will unfold, or to be fully prepared before we can begin. But the most successful people understand that waiting for everything to be perfect is a recipe for inaction. Instead, they take imperfect action. They trust that they will figure things out along the way. They embrace the discomfort of uncertainty and make progress by taking small, intentional steps forward. In addition to overcoming fear and shifting our mindset, taking action before we feel ready requires cultivating discipline and consistency. It's easy to get excited about an idea or a goal, but when the initial excitement fades, it can be hard to stay motivated. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is the ability to show up every day, even when the enthusiasm wanes or when obstacles arise. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Consistency compounds over time, turning small, everyday actions into significant progress. When we commit to taking action every day, no matter how small the step, we create momentum that propels us toward our goals. Sometimes the hardest part of taking action is simply getting started. The thought of tackling a big project or making a significant change can be overwhelming, but the key is to break things down into smaller, manageable tasks. Rather than focusing on the entire project, focus on the next step. It could be something as simple as writing one paragraph, making one phone call, or completing a small part of a larger task. When we take small, focused actions, the larger goal doesn't feel as intimidating. The act of starting, no matter how small, builds the momentum needed to continue. Another important aspect of taking action before feeling ready is letting go of perfectionism. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that everything must be perfect before we take the first step. We want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, and the perfect execution. But perfectionism is a form of procrastination. It keeps us stuck in a loop of overthinking and never moving forward. By letting go of the need for perfection, we free ourselves to take action, make mistakes, and learn from those experiences. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent and learning from each step we take. Taking action before feeling ready also means being willing to fail. Failure is an inevitable part of growth, but we often view it as something to be avoided at all costs. The truth is that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Every failure teaches us valuable lessons and helps us refine our approach. The most successful people are the ones who fail the most because they take the most action. They understand that failure is simply feedback, not a reflection of their worth or ability. By taking action, even when success is not guaranteed, we open ourselves up to the possibility of learning, adapting, and ultimately succeeding. When we commit to taking action before we feel ready, we shift from being passive observers of our lives to active participants. Instead of waiting for things to happen, we make things happen. This shift in mindset empowers us to take control of our future and build the life we want. Each action, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals and creates momentum that carries us forward. As we continue to take action, we begin to see progress, and that progress motivates us to keep going. The act of taking action is a reminder that we are in control of our own destiny. It's easy to feel like life is happening to us, like we're simply reacting to circumstances beyond our control. But when we take action, we assert our agency and take ownership of our journey. We create the life we want, one decision, one step at a time. Every day becomes an opportunity to take action, to move closer to our goals, and to make every moment count. Taking action even before we feel ready is the key to turning our dreams into reality. Life is not a linear path, and it's far too easy to get caught up in the distractions that fill our days. We are constantly pulled in different directions by external pressures, emails, social media, tasks that need to be done, and the constant noise of the world around us. The result is that we often lose sight of what truly matters. We start to measure our lives in years or big milestones, assuming that the big moments will make us feel fulfilled. But in reality, the most important moments of our lives are often the small, everyday ones. When we stop measuring life in years and start measuring it in moments, everything changes. The idea of measuring life in moments is a shift in perspective. It's about becoming present, truly engaging with the world around us and appreciating the small things that make up our lives. It's easy to let time slip away without noticing how quickly it passes. When days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Before we know it, we realize we've spent so much time waiting for the future, for something that will make us feel truly alive. But what if that something is already here? What if the moments that matter most are the ones we're living right now, not the ones we're chasing in the future? When we focus on moments, we stop waiting for some distant future where everything will be perfect. We stop living in the someday mindset where we think we'll be happy when we reach a certain goal or achieve a specific success. Instead, we begin to find joy in the present. Each day becomes an opportunity to experience life fully, to make an impact, to connect with others, and to grow. By measuring our lives in moments, we realize that life is not something that happens to us. It's something we create, moment by moment. This approach encourages us to be more intentional with our time. Instead of rushing through the day, distracted by the endless demands of life, we begin to make deliberate choices about how we spend our time. Whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, working on a project that excites us, or simply taking a moment to pause and reflect, measuring life in moments brings us back to what's truly important. It helps us focus on what we can control and what brings us fulfillment, rather than being swept along by the current of life. Measuring life in moments also means being present in the here and now. We often go through the motions, physically present but mentally somewhere else. How many times have we been at a dinner with friends or family, but our minds were elsewhere, thinking about work, a to-do list, or something we're worried about? When we measure life in moments, we shift our focus from what's happening in the future or the past to what's happening right in front of us. It's about showing up fully in each moment, engaging with the people around us, and being mindful of the experiences we're having. The more present we are, the more meaningful our moments become. There's power in the small moments, the ones that often go unnoticed. A smile from a stranger, a quiet walk in nature, a conversation with a friend. These seemingly simple experiences can have a profound impact on our lives. When we measure life in moments, we begin to appreciate the richness of everyday experiences. These moments add up over time, and when we look back, we realize that they are the ones that shaped our lives, not the big events or the major accomplishments we once thought were so important. Life is made up of countless small moments, and when we start to pay attention to them, we begin to see the beauty in the everyday. Focusing on moments also teaches us the importance of living with intention. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of productivity, always looking for the next task to check off or the next goal to achieve. But when we start measuring life in moments, we shift our focus from doing to being. We realize that our worth is not defined by how much we accomplish or how many tasks we check off. Our worth is defined by the quality of the moments we create, the connections we build, and the experiences we have along the way. This shift in perspective encourages us to slow down and be more intentional with how we spend our time. It's not about filling every moment with activity or making every day packed with tasks. Instead, it's about creating moments that align with our values and bring us joy. Whether it's taking time for self-care, enjoying a quiet moment of reflection, or spending time with the people who matter most. Measuring life in moments allows us to prioritize what's truly important. Ultimately, measuring life in moments helps us live a life of meaning. It reminds us that we don't have to wait for some distant future to feel fulfilled. We can find fulfillment in the present, in the moments we're living right now. Life becomes richer, more purposeful, and more meaningful when we shift our focus from the years ahead to the moments we have today. By embracing the present and appreciating the small things, we create a life that is full of meaning, not because of the big milestones or achievements, but because of the everyday moments that we choose to make count. In the pursuit of success and fulfillment, we often focus so much on ourselves, on our own goals, desires, and achievements, that we forget the power of serving others. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of personal success, to measure our worth by how far we've come or what we've accomplished. But when we shift our focus from what can I gain to how can I help, we unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning. True fulfillment comes not from what we do for ourselves, but from how we impact others. The desire to make a difference in the world is natural. We all want to feel that our lives matter, that we've contributed something meaningful. And while achieving personal success is important, it's not the ultimate source of fulfillment. It's the impact we have on others, the ways we can serve, support, and uplift the people around us that give our lives true purpose. When we focus on serving others, we shift from a mindset of scarcity, where we're constantly focused on what we don't have or what we need, to a mindset of abundance, where we recognize that our greatest source of happiness comes from what we give. Service doesn't always have to be grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as offering a listening ear to a friend in need, taking time to help a colleague with a project, or volunteering for a cause you believe in. The key is that when we serve others, we connect with something greater than ourselves. We step outside of our own world and engage with the world of others. We see their struggles, their joys, and their needs, and we realize that we are all interconnected. In this way, service becomes a way of showing love, compassion, and empathy. It's a way of saying, I see you, I care about you, I want to help. When we serve others, we also grow. Helping someone else doesn't just make their life better, it makes ours better too. There's a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing you've made a positive difference in someone else's life. That feeling is far more rewarding than any personal accomplishment or material possession. Serving others also fosters a sense of gratitude. When we help someone in need, we often realize how much we have to be grateful for. So we gain perspective on our own lives, recognizing that the challenges we face are often small compared to those of others. In serving others, we are reminded of the abundance in our own lives, and that gratitude becomes a powerful tool for maintaining a positive outlook and sense of purpose. Serving others also connects us to a larger sense of purpose. When we focus on making an impact, we stop measuring success by personal achievement alone and start measuring it by the positive influence we have on the world around us. This shift in focus allows us to create a life that is aligned with our values and with the bigger picture. It helps us feel that we are contributing to something larger than ourselves, whether that's our family, our community, or the world as a whole. Our lives take on a new sense of meaning when we see that our actions, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect. One of the most powerful aspects of serving others is that it fosters connection. In a world that often feels divided, where we are more connected than ever through technology, but often feel disconnected on a deeper level, service is a reminder of our shared humanity. Serving others allows us to build bridges between ourselves and those who may be different from us. It allows us to understand their perspectives, share their burdens, and celebrate their victories. In this way, service has the power to unite us, to break down barriers, and to create a sense of community and belonging. When we make serving others a priority, it's important to remember that it doesn't mean neglecting our own needs or goals. It's not about sacrificing ourselves for others or losing sight of our own dreams. Rather, it's about recognizing that by helping others, we enrich our own lives. Service doesn't deplete us, it nourishes us. It fills our hearts with joy, expands our sense of gratitude, and reminds us of the good in the world. The more we give, the more we receive in return. Serving others also teaches us valuable life lessons. It teaches us humility, patience, and resilience. And it helps us understand that we are not the center of the universe and that our worth is not defined by our individual achievements, but by the impact we have on others. Service also teaches us the power of empathy. By stepping into someone else's shoes, we develop a deeper understanding of their struggles and their needs. We learn to listen without judgment, to offer support without expecting anything in return, and to offer kindness freely and without hesitation. Ultimately, service is the key to living a life that truly counts. It's about shifting our focus from what we can get to what we can give. It's about creating a life that is not only filled with personal success, but with meaningful connections and positive contributions to the lives of others. When we serve others, we not only help them, we help ourselves. We create a life that is rich with purpose, fulfillment, and meaning. And that, in the end, is the most important thing of all. The power of resilience is one of the most important tools we can cultivate in our journey to make every day count. Life is full of challenges, and we all face obstacles along the way. No matter how carefully we plan, how hard we work, or how positive our mindset is, things don't always go according to plan. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about how we respond when they arise. It's about how we bounce back after we've been knocked down, how we keep moving forward despite setbacks, and how we maintain our focus on the bigger picture even when things seem difficult. One of the key aspects of resilience is the ability to accept that challenges are a natural part of life. They are inevitable, but they don't have to define us. In fact, it's often through overcoming these challenges that we grow stronger. The setbacks and obstacles we face can be the very things that build our character, develop our skills, and deepen our understanding of who we are. When we learn to embrace challenges instead of avoiding them, we develop a mindset that is capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Resilience allows us to navigate through tough times without losing sight of our goals or our sense of purpose. Resilience also involves the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Life is unpredictable, and things rarely go exactly as we expect. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations that feel completely out of our control, whether it's a sudden change in our personal or professional lives, unexpected challenges that we didn't anticipate, or setbacks that derail our plans. In these moments, our ability to adapt is crucial. Resilience isn't about staying rigid and trying to force things to go our way. It's about being flexible and open to new possibilities. When we're resilient, we can pivot when necessary, change course when we need to, and keep moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. One of the greatest strengths of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going well. We can become overwhelmed by feelings of frustration, disappointment, or self-doubt. But resilient people know that a positive mindset is a powerful tool. It doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending that everything is fine when it's not, but it's about choosing to focus on the possibilities, on what we can control, and on the lessons we can learn from every experience. A positive mindset helps us maintain hope and optimism even when the circumstances are tough. It helps us keep our energy up and our focus sharp, even when we feel like giving up. Resilience is also about self-belief. When faced with setbacks, it's easy to question our abilities, to doubt whether we are capable of overcoming the challenges in front of us. Self-doubt can be one of the greatest obstacles to resilience. But resilient people have a strong sense of self-belief. They know that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but simply a part of the journey. They trust in their ability to learn, grow, and adapt. This belief in themselves is what enables them to keep going when the going gets tough. It's the fuel that drives them forward when the path is uncertain. Another important aspect of resilience is the support system we build around us. While resilience is often thought of as an individual trait, it's also deeply influenced by the people we surround ourselves with. Having a support network of family, friends, mentors, or colleagues can make all the difference when we face difficult times. These people provide encouragement, perspective, and advice when we need it most. They remind us of our strengths and help us stay grounded. Resilience is not about facing challenges alone. It's about knowing when to ask for help and leaning on others when necessary. A strong support system can provide us with the emotional strength to keep going even when we feel like we can't. Taking care of ourselves is another key component of resilience. In order to be resilient, we need to be physically, mentally, and emotionally strong. This means prioritizing our well-being, making time for rest and recovery, and engaging in activities that recharge us. Resilience doesn't mean pushing ourselves to the limit and ignoring our own needs. It means taking the time to restore ourselves so that we can continue to move forward. When we take care of ourselves, we are better equipped to face the challenges that come our way. Resilience also involves learning from our experiences. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle holds a lesson. Resilient people understand that challenges are not just roadblocks, they are opportunities for growth. When things don't go as planned, they reflect on what they can learn from the experience and how they can apply those lessons moving forward. They don't dwell on mistakes or get stuck in regret. They use every experience, both good and bad, as a stepping stone to greater resilience and success. This ability to learn from experience is what enables us to bounce back stronger and more equipped to face the next challenge. Ultimately, resilience is about finding strength in the face of adversity, maintaining a sense of purpose despite difficulties, and moving forward with confidence even when the future is uncertain. It's about recognizing that challenges are a part of life and they don't define us. Our ability to rise above those challenges, to adapt, to stay positive, and to keep going is what shapes who we are and what we accomplish. Resilience is what enables us to keep going when things are tough, to find meaning and growth in every experience, and to ultimately make every day count.